What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 11. So, we started this episode off, we found out that Garcelle, Lisa Rinna, and Erica Jane, they're down. They done caught the Omicron, okay? And, Kyle is having her fundraiser launch. We know Kyle does a lot of work with the Children's Hospital out there in LA. We've seen every season she's found a way to incorporate her fundraising. Kudos to you. This time we see, which I still didn't quite figure out. Maybe I missed something and I didn't care enough to rewind it. But Jamie Lee Curtis has a foundation. I think she's working in conjunction with Kyle. I really don't know. But I'm here for Jamie Lee Curtis. When I tell you I have always loved Jamie Lee Curtis, I love the fact that she just seems like she's real and she's a down chick. You know, I'll never forget that she posed on the cover of some magazine and she wouldn't let them airbrush her because she was like, baby, this is who I am. Like Kyle was talking about how she just dyed her gray out. Child, Jamie Lee Curtis was like, girl, I don't nobody care about all that gray. Like, I don't care. You know, I just love her. I love that she's been so open with her struggles, with everything. Anyway, moving on. So, I'm starting to sound like Dorit, child. Let me move on before I be sounding like Dorit. Child, when I tell y'all that Dorit was... Okay, we didn't get there yet. So, Diana is there. Sutton is there. And, child, I guess they done sent Sheree to sit in for Garcelle, honey, to be the resident color girl. Crystal is there. Everybody except for the three that got the daggone COVID, right? And it is hilarious because they had Sutton sitting next to Diana, and baby, they promptly moved those seats. And Jamie Lee Curtis was like, oh, okay, see, I'm figuring this out already. Like, I'm figuring out who's who and what's what already. And I thought that was hilarious. So then Sheree asked Sutton if she had some lash glue. Now, listen. The smart thing to do was when Sutton said, yes, I had some eyelash glue, would have been for Sheree to take the glue from Sutton, go in the bathroom, and work it out. Oh, no. She lets Sutton put the glue on her eye at the table. Now, Sutton, I got to call you on some things. Now, you a little Miss Etiquette. Is that in good taste? Is that etiquette to sit at the lunch table applying makeup? I don't think that's good etiquette, Sutton. You should not have even indulged in that. But girl, she done messed up the thing. She got eyelash glue all over the daggone place. Jamie Lee Curtis had to come over there with a Q-tip and clean it up. I said, well, damn. So while that's going on, Dorit is whispering to Diana, how did your lunch go with Sutton? Girl. And Diana gonna tell her, she gonna say, I was repulsed by her. Like, honestly, I went home and had to exfoliate my skin. I said, girl, you're doing way too much now. Like, I get it. You don't like Sutton. But you're doing too much. Like, you were doing the most, over the top, utmost, most of the most. So we go on and we have the lunch. And while we're at lunch, Jamie Lee Curtis gave all of them a gift bag. And everything she pulled out the gift bag, baby, Dorit act like it was she pulled out a tumbler. A hot, cold tumbler that everybody in this world got at least five of in their glass cup drawer by now. I know I got about 3 or 4 just from school in the last 2 years. And every teacher appreciation Christmas, we have one of those tumblers where it keeps the hot and the cold. Girl, she was like, oh my gosh, that is just, look at that. She pulls out a wind chime. Dorit talking about something. Honestly, that is the sleekest wind chime I have ever seen. Girl, what? She pulled out hats. Hats! With the logo on it. Dorit talking about, that is so chic. That is so chic. Really? A baseball cap with her logo? Then she had a dog leash, which the dog leash was cute because it looked like it had like a little pouch for you to put the poop bags and stuff in. It was cute, but I promise you it's probably nothing better than what you already have. I mean, everything she pulled out that bag, oh, that is so chic. That is so chic. Oh, that is so chic. That is so chic. And I feel like everybody was side-eyeing Dorit by the end of that, like, girl, stop. Like, how much more can you kiss up? I mean, she talking about some, oh my gosh, it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh my gosh. I mean, I just need to pinch myself. Oh my gosh. Now, let's be clear. I like Jamie Lee. I do. And if I met her, I would be happy to meet her. I ain't gonna sit here in front like I wouldn't. But all that you doing something for somebody who claimed to be so, Boy George is my best friend and I do this and I do that. Really? That's what we're doing? Sutton, you be doing too much. Moving on. So, and Sutton said something about not being able to dodge, COVID up until that point. Didn't Sutton have COVID last year when they were filming? Wasn't she one of the ladies that got it last year? So what are you talking about, Sutton? Or were you lying about having COVID? Like you be lying about other stuff. Moving on. So at the end of the lunch, Jamie Lee Curtis leaves and Sutton goes off to have a conversation with Sheree. And then Kyle pledged $25,000 to the charity. Diana matched her. And I thought that was nice. And I was waiting for the rest of the ladies to be like, well, I got 5,000, I got 2,000, I got 3,000. But see, Kyle, that's where you messed yourself up. Because after you called out Garcelle for not, fulfilling her pledge and you put her out there on Front Street, don't nobody want to say nothing publicly about giving you no money. They might slide you a check when it's over with. Now, Dory, we know you're not giving her nothing because you ain't got no money. Sheree, I'm sure you good. I'm sure you comfortable. But maybe $25,000, maybe not so much. But we all know Sutton got it. And we all know Crystal got it. And they were both looking like, that is so nice. Yes, Diana, I'm like, listen, I'm with her. I ain't got nothing to say. So, Sheree and Sutton is talking to Sheree about lunch and how things went with the lunch. And I can appreciate Sheree because, of course, here come Dorit. Now, Dorit, your sneaky ass already talked to Diana and found out that the lunch didn't go that well. So here you go. You're going to go in there and you're going to talk to Sutton. So I heard you went to lunch. How'd the lunch go? Girl, you know how the lunch went. But I will say this. I'm going to give Dorit some credit. Dorit actually did try to talk to Sutton and explain to Sutton why what she did was was wrong. Because this is where Sutton be pissing me off. Because Sutton can never see past what she does. Or even if she sees what she does, and she always feels like somebody owes her something. Now you feel like Diana owes you an apology because you feel like Diana made fun of the fact that you were sharing with her that you had 2 miscarriages. But what you're forgetting is you started with Diana by questioning the miscarriage and questioning why she was on bed rest. You started it. So I feel like once you threw that first punch, any punch she threw after that, that's on you. So I don't feel like she owes you the same level of an apology that you seem to feel like, because you started it. Like you really did. And I said that when you did it. I said it when you did it that was too much. You did that. You started that. So Sheree gonna say, Sutton, why you always in trouble? And Sutton was like, because I just speak my mind and I just don't hold my tongue. Here goes Sheree. How's that working out for you? And I loved it and I fell out laughing because, baby, that is one of my lines I use with my students all the time. Whenever my students, they getting in trouble or something happens and they be like, cuz, man, I was just being real. Cuz, I was just saying what I felt. And that's always my line. And how's that working out for you? Especially when I was an administrator and you sitting in my office about to get suspended, you might have been right all day long. I used to tell my students all the time, you might have been right all day long, but the way in which you chose to handle it has made you wrong. And that's the same thing with Sutton. Sutton, listen, I'm with you. I don't like Diana either, and I think Diana is a bitch. But you were wrong. You were wrong how you came at her about questioning her being on bed rest and why she there. That was wrong. So while they're having this conversation, Crystal, Kyle, and Diana are having a conversation in the other room about Crystal had put a post up about her eating disorder and her struggling with it. She said the holidays are really hard for her. And Kyle is having a really, now Kyle ain't been on my good side these last couple of weeks, but I can appreciate the conversation that Kyle was having with Crystal because Kyle was like, listen, because she was kind of asking Crystal these questions, and Crystal was like, wow, you asking me the hard questions. She said, well, I've been there. Like, I've been there, and I'm just trying to understand, what it is that, I mean, do you binge? Is it guilt because you ate, or is that you don't eat and you feel good? Like, what is it? Like, I need to understand. And ultimately, Kyle listened, and I feel like Kyle was very sympathetic, and she heard what Crystal had to say, and I give Crystal all the credit for sharing that this is something she's struggled with her whole life, and that she said, I just don't want to feel guilty about eating. I don't want to feel like I don't. She said it's always heavy. I eat and then it's always heavy. And Kyle was like, do you eat pasta? She was like, I would never eat pasta. And Kyle was like, wow. And at the end of the conversation, Kyle was like, she needs therapy. Like, she really needs to go talk to somebody. And I'm surprised that you haven't, Crystal. And the only reason why I say that you haven't is because later on in the episode, it comes up again, and you say, yeah, I do think it's time. So that makes me feel like maybe you hadn't had therapy. Maybe you did, and you're saying it's time to go back. But that's not how you said it, but I could have misunderstood. But I thought that was a good moment. Diana and Kyle were both very sympathetic. And the way Kyle handled it is sort of like Sutton take a lesson. Because Kyle didn't throw her eating disorder sort of at Crystal to be like, yeah, I've been there too, da 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 da. It was like, it was more of a empathetic, empathetic? Y'all know what I'm saying. Where she's saying, listen, I do get it. And this is how I know to help. She said that she's very afraid of passing it on to her children. She said she doesn't want to pass her unhealthy relationship with food onto her kids, and that's what scares her the most. And that's a valid fear, because kids see more than we give them credit for seeing. On the other show, The Real Housewives of New Jersey, is her name Jackie? I hope her name's Jackie. Y'all gonna tell me in the comments if I got her name wrong. But I think it's Jackie Goldschneider or something like that. She talked about, she also was struggling with is struggling with the eating disorder. And her husband let her know, like, your kids notice. Like, your kids notice that all you eat every day is a salad. They notice that you don't eat any, like, they notice. And so a lot of times we don't realize what we pass on to our kids. So then all the ladies came back together, and they were like, so what were y'all talking about while we were in there? And, of course, the well, I'm not even gonna lie to you. We was talking about y'all's lunch. We was talking about that lunch that y'all went to. Girl. So Sutton couldn't understand, even with Dorit, before they came in there, Dorit tried to explain to Sutton why the way, she even gave her an option of, well, maybe if you had said it like this, ... Child, Sutton couldn't get it. Sutton was like, well, she hurt my feelings. But I will say that in this moment, Sutton, I ain't gonna say Sutton got it, but Sutton was like, well, Diana's not ready. And Diana was like, she's right. And they were like, ready for what? Ready to be friends? Ready to move on? And she was like, listen, there's just some things about me that Diana ain't rocking with, and she's not ready for us to move forward. But what Sutton did say is, listen, me and you have had a lot of conflicts, and I know that I'm probably 95% responsible for them. I take that. And I just want to apologize. And Diana said, I appreciate that. And that was it. Boom. Listen. It took us a long time, but we finally got there, child. All right, moving on. Lisa and Erica talking about moving on. They both got the COVID, child. They in isolation. Another article came out about Erica. Erica let us know that she does talk to Tom, but she never knows what Tom she gonna get, because sometimes he's good and sometimes he's bad. She said the holidays are bad because there are a lot of memories, and Lisa said the same thing, of course, as it relates to Lois, that there are a lot of memories, and that, both of them are sort of struggling, but they're gonna make it do what it do. All right, great, yay. Diana is having a holiday party, and she said it's normally a big, a big event. It's normally a big thing, but this year she had to scale it back because of the Roni. And we see her getting her house ready, and her husband is sort of taking charge. And he and she said, listen, I'm the over the top extravagant one. He's the more practical one, so he kind of keeps me a little bit grounded. She said growing up in was it Yugoslavia? Wherever she grew up, they didn't celebrate Christmas because it was a communist country and they didn't, celebrate um, religious holidays. So she didn't really celebrate Christmas until she moved to London, and she loved the lights and all the decorations, and so she always goes all out for her Christmas parties. I'm here for it. Y'all know, outside of my birthday, Christmas is my favorite time of the year. I love it. That's what I love it. I love Christmas. I don't know any other words. I love the feeling of Christmas. I love the smell of Christmas. I love that people are just a little bit nicer at Christmas. People are a little happier. And I know that's not for everybody. I'm just talking about me and my experience, okay? I love my family. I just love it. So, I get it. That's probably the only thing me and Diana can vibe on. Moving on. Then she's back. Kathy Hilton has finally made her season 11 debut. Now, honestly, Kathy, I don't know how I feel about your girl because I done heard some things that I don't like, but I'm going to just make it do what it do. I'm going to review what I see. Kathy's house is all decked out for the holidays. She's invited Kyle over. She said she not having her Christmas party this year because after the wedding and everything with Paris, baby, she over it. She over people in her house. She can't find nothing. She said she's tired. Her hands hurt from wrapping all the gifts. She can't find ribbon. She said she just need help. The stores won't deliver because of the COVID. Stores ain't delivering packages. She said, and I just can't be driving all over delivering all these packages. Kathy, you should have so many damn friends because I know it ain't no package there for me. So if you ain't buy me one of them Hermes orange boxes, then I don't care who you can't get the gifts to. Her and Kyle had lunch, and honestly, they really ain't talk about much of nothing, child. We found out that Kathy still can't find her damn phone, and the lady that worked there, we found out her name. Child, listen, Kyle, you keep telling Kathy that you can't get through, that every time you call her, it goes straight to voicemail, and that you've been trying to tell her for the last 2 years that you can't get through when you call her. Girl, you was blocked. When you and Kathy wasn't speaking, girl, she blocked you. Now, whether she blocked you or she asked her assistant to block you, that is what happens when you are blocked on somebody's phone. You call them and it goes straight to voicemail and they don't see your call. That is what a block is. So all of that talking about some, and then Kathy gonna say, well, everybody else can get in touch with me. Yeah, because they not blocked. And then they ate baked potatoes with caviar. That's how I know that I'm not at that level of sophistication. Because first of all, I don't even like caviar. I've had it. I've tried it. I don't like it. Not my thing. Second of all, who putting caviar on a baked potato? But clearly, that is what rich people do. And obviously, Kathy uses it as an entree because Kyle thought that it was the appetizer and she was waiting for the rest of her food. And Kathy was like, this is your food. You better put some more caviar over there on that potato, girl. Child. Anyway, that damn Kathy Hilton. Moving on. They ain't really talk about nothing, I don't think, though. I don't remember them having no deep conversation. That was really just it. She was talking about how she can't get in touch with her and how, all of that. Anyway, I gave it to you. So the ladies are getting ready for the Christmas party over to Diana's. And guess what? Now Dorit and, who was it? Dorit and Sutton got the Roni wrong. So now they can't come to Diana's party. So Garcelle is out of quarantine. Erica's out of quarantine. So they coming to the party. And Kathy Hilton shows up to the party. Now, I thought that was real cute how Diana's bartender did of course they had the menu, but one of the drinks came in a martini glass, but the drink was actually in like an ornament. It was really cute with a straw. So anyway, the ladies all show up. Everybody looks nice and festive, except for Erica Jane, who comes through there in a hot pink ass dress. Why you ain't have one a holiday dress, Erica? Why you ain't have one green, red, winter white, or something sparkly? You know what it is. But anyway, whatever. So she got on her pink, and of course, they're immediately making a big deal about Erica drinking. Immediately making a big deal about the drinking. They started with her glam squad. And that's when I knew this is a storyline. Because it was so out of nowhere. Erica was like, well, I'm going to drink tonight. I was like, yeah, this is your storyline. Because who says that? Like who just randomly has a conversation? Yeah, so I'm gonna be drinking tonight. I mean, I've been doing pretty bad lately. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna get as drunk as I was at Garcelle's party, but well, maybe I will. Girl, that's see, you showed your hand. All this is your damn storyline. So, Diana's kids are there, and one of my subscribers put a little bug in my ear. Y'all probably know this already, but her son, his girlfriend that we saw in last week's episode that was rubbing his feet, that's Damon Dash's daughter Ava. Didn't know it, didn't recognize her from Love and Hip Hop. I mean, was it Growing Up Hip Hop? Didn't even recognize her. But, yeah, that's Damon Dash's daughter allegedly. That's what they told me. That's what they had told me. So, everybody's having a good time at the party. They're all vibing. Everybody's, it's cool, whatever. And Garcelle ends up having a conversation with Crystal about the eating disorder. Because, I mean, of course, she posted it on social media. So Erica comes over there and becomes a part of the conversation. And they're basically talking about, well, what does that look like? Because everybody's eating disorder is different. It's not the same as bulimia, as anorexia, as this is that. Body dysmorphia, it's just different things. So she's explaining to Erica and Garcelle that after she eats, she feels guilty. She just feels heavy and she feels guilty. Child, Erica gonna tell that girl, well, I just take a laxative. Why are you telling somebody that has just admitted to having an eating disorder that you take a laxative? Like that is what she's supposed to do? Ma'am, we don't need your advice. We don't need your help. So Garcelle walks away like, I'm not doing this with Erica. So she proceeds to continue to have this conversation with Crystal. She was like, well, you probably prefer to purge it out. I prefer to poop it out. And she is continuing to have this conversation with her about the eating disorder. And I'm sitting here like, you're not helping. Like, that's like telling a drug addict, oh, well, you like heroin? Well, I just do a little coke, That's, you like heroin. I do coke. I mean, And I'm like, girl, you're not helping. Why are you... Child. Anyway, Kathy Hilton shows up, and Diana was like, I know Kathy as Paris's mama. So my relationship with her is a little more maternal and not so much like we're on the same level. And come to find out, Paris knows her son. So, child, that's the whole thing with that. But that's pretty much where the episode ends. So we're going to pick up, I guess, because they were bringing food out. And it was like chicken tenders with some sort of like ranch dressing or whatever. And Erica going to say, oh, you can't have this, Crystal. It's chicken tenders. Like in front of everybody. But again, her excuse is going to be, oh, I was drunk. Oh, I did too much. And Garcelle just sitting there looking at everybody like, I tried to tell y'all this hoe was a drunk. I tried to tell y'all. And nobody want to listen to me when I was trying to tell y'all that this hoe was a drunk. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.